Hi, I'm Andi. Welcome back. I'm really happy that you're here. I get comments and questions quite often that ask me how I keep all of my panning straight. How do I keep it organized? Or comments that say, I don't know how you keep everything organized. I don't know how you keep track of everything. So you guys, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you my panning notebook. I am not a professional panner. This is only my second year of panning, and I'm still learning, but this is what works for me. I had tried a couple of things at the beginning of the year that didn't work for me, and this is what I ultimately decided on. So I'm going to take you with an overhead shot so you can see my panning notebook. Okay, so this is my panning notebook. It is nothing special. It is nothing fancy. It is a 1-inch binder. 1-inch binder that I got from Target. I think it was $2.33. It has this pocket on the outside, which I'm going to draw something and put it on here, but I haven't done that yet. These tabs, these dividers came from Amazon. I can't remember how much they were, but I will have them linked in the description box below if you are interested. And then the little labels, I have a label maker, so I just put my labels on it. So when you open it up, you can see this is from my previous panning notebook that did not work out for me. The problem is because it's the dots. It's like a bullet journal, and I can't see the dots. I can't see them at all. But so I put that on there, and then I have each month is color coded so that I know which month I've used certain things. And I will explain that a little bit as we move forward. So this is No Pan Left Behind. I don't know if you can see that there. No Pan Left Behind. And I have all of my palettes in here. As I use a shade, I mark them off with that month's color. These are just some journal markers or whatever that I bought from Amazon. So each month has a different color, like I said. Each month has a different color. You can see that. And so each time I use a shade in my palette, I mark it off with that month's color. And I have all of my palettes in here. Some of these I had to get really creative with because they're not your standard palette, like how it's laid out. So these are my BH Zodiac palettes. And then I have, what else is it? The Nightingale palette from Pretty Vulgar is a little different. My Aussie That palette from Rock and Roll Beauty. It's just a little different. Laura Geller, my Laura Geller palette is the Nothing But Neutrals. So these are, it just had to get a little creative on some of them. But that's how I keep track of my No Pan Left Behind. And then for my Pan That palette, I have this. And that is my little quad. And that is how many times I've used each one. I have them in columns so that I know which shade is which, and I mark them off. And here's my blush challenge. So I copied my blushes from my spreadsheet and taped them on there so that I didn't have to write everything in. And then as I use them, I mark them with that month's color so that I know which month I used that shade. So that is my blush challenge. And then I have my highlighter challenge. Again, I just copied it and taped it on so that I didn't have to write it in. So that is all. My printer was running out of ink as I finished that. So this is my Pan Your Eyeshadows, or Love Your Eyeshadows. It started out Pan Those Eyeshadows. Now it's Love Your Eyeshadows. That is just, each month I write down what I brought in. As I finish something, I use my highlighter and I highlight it. I'm sure you saw that with some of the others. And then I have my Beauty A to Z. There's Beauty A to Z. And these are all the items that I'm working on. As I finish them, I mark them off so that I don't have to worry about those anymore. And I just after each update, I start a new line. And so like this one, I'll start over here and go down that way. My Out the Door in 24. Same thing. It's the exact same situation. where I mark them off as I finish them, and I mark them each update, like this is update number 5 coming up. So each update I mark them. And it's a lot of products left. And then this is where my heavy petal and my best intentions, that is my usage, because those are the only really bullets that I have in there. And then this is my deck of panning. Now the deck of panning I do a little different because it is a rolling project pan. So I just write down what prompts I bring in and what I bring in for those, and then the number of uses, mark them off. Like I said, mark them off as I go. The next one is panning cats and dogs, and because it is a rolling project pan also, I write them down as I bring them in. So I have extra paper here. I had this graph paper, so I did not even have to go buy that. I had this graph paper, so again, it didn't cost. This is very cheap. This is a very cheap way to do it. But anytime I have a no pan left behind, I do the little graph for that. And I have paper left over for, as I continue. That was for my May update. So I will do that for my June update when I get there. My next one is my happy hour project pan. So again, it is a rolling project pan. So I just bring in, like as I bring things in, I write them down. As I finish them, I mark them off so that I don't have to worry about them anymore. And lastly, for my projects is Let's Get Panned. And on Let's Get Panned, because it is my latest project that I started, I decided to go ahead and write down all of the prompts, and that I will just fill them in as I update it. And that is that. And then my last tab over here is video ideas. So whenever I have an idea, I write it down, and then after I've done it, I mark it off. If I have been influenced by an influencer, by a content creator, I will write their name beside it so that I make sure that I give them credit. But yeah, those are just little ideas that I come up with, and it makes it very easy to keep track. Very, very easy. Because I write everything in ink, if I mess up, I can take that paper out and put another clean sheet in. Whatever. For me, this has been so much easier than using anything else. You have to do what works for you, whether it be a notebook or just a piece of paper or whatever. You have to do what works for you. Set yourself up for success. So every day before I go to work, I will take a shower, I will do my makeup, I'll do my hair if it's a wash day, whatever. And then I don't worry about this. When I get home in the morning and I do my nighttime skincare routine, because it's actually daytime, but it's my nighttime, I will then go through and mark everything I used before I went to work that day. That way I am not hurrying up before work to mark everything down. But I usually will remember the things that I used. So that's it. That is my panning notebook. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that it answered some questions for those of you who had asked me questions or made comments. So let me know if you are a panner. Let me know how you keep track of your panning projects and your items that you're using. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. And until next time, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.